Welcome back to Mojo Homestead. We've got a busy day ahead of us, but first, some morning chores.
Now that morning chores are done, we have a day of preserving ahead of us, which is so exciting. But first, we gotta go check on the blackberries. They're not quite done yet.
All right, so I am out here getting the last of, well, it's not quite the last, but more blackberries. They are about to finish up. This has been a pretty good season for them. We definitely got more than we did last year, which is very good. So today is my most favorite preservation thing that we do personally, and that is making blackberry jam. So we're gonna bring you guys along for that. All right, so this particular jam recipe that we use comes from the Ball canning book, which is this, I guess is home preservation. This is not a promotional for them, but I do really like them and they are the most popular one out there. Just saying. So we actually just do the traditional long cook jam for this, which means we don't have to use pectin, which is great. Because one of our goals here is to rely less and less on the grocery store. Well, pectin's not something that I know how to make, so I don't want to go buy it if I don't have to. Pectin is a naturally occurring thing in fruits, and actually one of the tips that this book gives is that when you're doing these particular jams, it's good to mix in a couple of underripe fruits into there because they are going to contain more pectin. We probably don't have a lot of underripe blackberries that we're going to use, but interesting fact, blackberries contain a lot of natural pectin even in their ripened state. So I've never had an issue with it, so we're just going to go with it like we always do. The other thing that I do change slightly is we cut back on the sugar just a little bit. This ratio for the berries is actually a 2 to 3 ratio of sugar to berries, and so it like goes for every 3 cups of berries you're gonna use 2 cups of sugar. I basically just do like a 1 to 2 ratio, and it works. It's plenty sweet enough. I really feel like we've never done the full sugar amount they call for. I feel like if we did, then it would be a really, really sweet jam. And while those are great, there's nothing wrong with that. We do try to keep it a little more on the healthy side if jam can be healthy. So we just cut back on the sugar a little bit. But other than that, we follow everything that this thing says. Now there are 3 ways to know when your jam has gelled, because when it's hot, it's not gonna gel up like your normal jam would look. But when it cools off, it does hit that. So you've got to know. And I'll go over that a little bit later in this video. This recipe calls for 9 cups of berries. We are actually gonna triple this. 9 cups should give you 6 8-ounce jars, which are kind of your typical jelly sized jars. We like to go ahead and make enough to get us all the way through the year. So we're only going to do 18 this year. And I say only 18 because we typically base it off of going through 2 jars a month. We already have 7 jars. That would be close enough. I'm going to be canning 18 jars of blackberry jelly.
I am going to take a minute to sneak away and show you something very, very exciting. Look at this. We have fruit on our mandarin trees. We have lots of fruit. So we hit, this is in ground in zone 8, and we had several people tell us very matter-of-factly that we could not do citrus in zone 8. Well, this is in the ground. We had some very cold evenings and this past winter, and we have lots.
All right, so we got the berries added. Next, we're gonna put the sugar in, and then we're just gonna let this thing simmer down and do its thing. The gel test. Mentioned before, there's 3 different gel tests that you can do for this. We use the most accurate, which is just going by temperature. Once it hits 220 degrees Fahrenheit, then you've reached your gel stage, and you wanna immediately take it off the heat and begin to work with it by getting it into the jars and going ahead and proceeding with the canning process. Now there's 2 other ways you can do this that are not quite as accurate, but they do work. And I have done both of these and we've turned out with some good products. One is called the spoon test. So you're gonna wanna take a metal spoon, put it in the freezer, get it really, really cold. You're gonna dip it into your hot liquid and let it run off. So when it's not quite ready, it's gonna be dripping off, usually like in 2 drops. But when those join together and it sheets off, it's actually called the sheeting method. When it sheets off in one kind of drop, if you will, then it is ready. It's reached that gel stage. The other way is you can put a couple of small saucers in your freezer, get them really, really cold, and then you're gonna spoon a little bit of the liquid on one of those dishes, put it back in the freezer for 1 minute. After a minute, you're gonna take it out and you're gonna basically push the edge with your finger, and if the top starts to wrinkle, then you've reached your gel stage. It is also time for us to harvest some of our grapes because it looks like the birds are starting to find them, and that's a tiny little bunch, but where was it? There it is. And the flip side of that is that then the bees start coming to them, and I really don't want to battle with bees when I'm picking my grapes. So we're gonna go ahead and pick them. For the most part, the bunches are ripe. There's a couple that probably could use a little bit longer, but like I said, if the birds are starting to peck on them and then the bees are coming, that's something I don't really want to compete with. So we're gonna go ahead and get these purple ones inside. The green ones still do need a little bit more time. Now these, let me show you guys, these are actually some really good bunches on these green ones. Excited about those. Last year, we used a lot of them to make grape jelly. I don't know if we're gonna do that again. The consensus was in the family that the blackberry jelly is preferred. So we're gonna have to get a little bit creative with how we're gonna preserve or use these grapes. So if you guys have ideas or what you do other than making jelly with them, I would love to hear it. Juice could be a possibility. The one thing I don't like about using our fruit for juice is that it takes so much fruit and only yields a little bit. And if we're gonna put the energy and time into growing them, I would prefer it be something that's gonna give us a better yield. I would love to hear y'all's ideas on that.
We have reached 220. It's time to jar up our jam and put it in the water bath canner. It's gonna take a little bath and seal, and then it'll be ready to go. Jam is super easy. It's a great intro. So if you haven't tried canning anything, the water bath canner is a great way to start.
last stop for harvesting this morning is going to be the green beans. I want you guys to look at this though. This is an amaryllis that I got off of a project a couple years ago. And it actually, for the first several years, didn't do anything, and I was gonna pull it up, and then it sent up a bloom stalk that year. But this year, I think we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have at least 6, maybe 7 bloom stalks on it. I don't know, it's just one of those things I'm like, yeah, because 1, it was free, and 2, it's looking really good. It's a really like vibrant, kind of a purpley pink, what do you call that, fuchsia color. So it's fun. It's next to our side door and our driveway, so it's really cool when it blooms because everybody sees it. All right, so green beans. We're gonna go see how many we get on here, and then we'll be back with you guys in the kitchen. We have had a busy day.
Yes, and I'm tired.
Preserving stuff. Yeah. I'm glad that we got the jelly done. There is nothing like fresh jelly. Don't look at me like that. She thinks I'm crazy, but
I'm really excited about the carrots.
We did do carrots this weekend.
So if you don't homestead, but you still want to preserve and learn how to homestead, or buy things in bulk and preserve them so they don't go bad, that is a great option for you. I found like 30 pounds of carrots. It was really cheap, and I knew that I could can them and have them for stews and soups and casseroles and, you know, all the things. We might not have grown 30 pounds of carrots, but we can still buy them in bulk and preserve them.
That's right. So yeah. there are ways to homestead without homesteading.
Right, exactly.
So how about highs and lows?
Highs and lows. So we were kid-free this week, and we just got to go on lots of fun dates. We had friends over, which was fun. More homesteading friends. I got to teach them how to milk goats. And canning carrots.
That's right.
Yeah, we did the pressure canner. So that was fun. But my favorite was probably going to see Maverick, Top Gun Maverick. It was so good. So much better than I anticipated. So that was fun. My low was probably, did I even have a low? My low is that I had a goal to use this week to really purge and organize and get all the school stuff ready. I spent 3 hours trying to find writing curriculum at the homeschool store.
Struggles of a homeschooling mom.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, so my low is probably that I didn't finish. The loft is still in disarray.
Yeah.
Not ready. We're not starting school this week, so that's great. Or next week, but that's great. But I wanted it done. So my goal is to have to manage less inside so that I can enjoy my time with my kids and do more homesteading stuff.
So my high, it was a really good week. Like Cass said, like we went on several dates, which we usually don't get to do. Maverick was really good. We went out to eat with some friends. That was a lot of fun. Yeah. We had just like a date with just the two of us at a really nice restaurant. Last night though.
Yeah.
When Lisa and Charlie came over from homesteading in Hungary, it was a lot of fun just to get to hang out with fellow homesteaders and continue to connect with them. And yeah, we were able to kind of show them how to pressure can and to milk goats and all
they
of that.
Brought an amazing cheese board.
Oh my gosh, yes.
That was awesome.
So good. That right there that solidified the high.
Right.
They just brainwashed me. That was all it was. I don't really think I had a low this week.
It's a good week. It's been a really fun week.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say no low, only highs. So
Awesome.
it was a really good week, and let's hope that next week continues the same.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching. We really do appreciate all of you guys who have what we consider become part of our YouTube family.
Yes.
If you've not done that yet, which is subscribe, we'd love to have you be a part of this family and just follow along with us on this journey. We do have another goat care video coming out this week. We're also going to have one coming out that's just kind of fun garden tips and stuff like that. So be on the lookout for that.
So we hope that you all have a great week and be blessed.